So there are a number of components that enable voice within Teams. So across the 365 licenses, you get Teams by default for instant messaging, internal, well, Teams to Teams audio and video calls, etc., whether that's internally or with federated partners. However, from a voice point of view, there are a number of components that you do need to add on, whether that's as individual add-ons or as part of a specific license scheme. So the first one we need to discuss is the phone system component. So that's the PBX intelligence, and that will give you all the features to do with call handling, routing, etc. And I'm going to go through some of those options, what they are later on. But the phone system itself is of no use unless you're able to connect PSTN connectivity to it, for obvious reasons. And there's sort of two main options for that. One is by purchasing Microsoft calling plans, and that is a per user per month add-on license, and that gives you a bundle of minutes. So for example, you can have a 10 users on 1200 minutes bundle each, and if for those 10 users that all have the same call plan, those minutes are pooled, so users can go over their individual license but not over the pool number. Those minutes do not roll over to the next month, so you either use them or lose them, as it were. There are also plans that include some international minutes, and again, if the users are on the international call plans, those users will bundle their minutes together as well. You can't bundle minutes between the different types of licenses, if that makes sense. For users that are on only domestic call plans, you are able still to make calls internationally using some of the communications credits, which I'll come on to in a second. The other option is if you don't go down the calling plan route from Microsoft, which is a pure cloud play, you do have the option to use what's known as direct routing. This provides you the ability to provide your own SIP trunks or connectivity from your current providers. Potentially you may be tied into an existing contract, for example, and it also means you're able to do a gradual migration from your on-premise solutions as well that are currently in place. So yes, I just got a bit of a diagram here just to show how that works. So Office 365 is obviously your core environment. You've already got Microsoft Teams as part of your 365 business licenses or your enterprise licenses. You've then got the phone system component, which can then be bolted on. And then you have the two options in regards to calling, which is either the calling plans with communications credits or the direct routing option, and then your own service from a BT or a Gamma or any other telco provider. From a user experience point of view, so this is the calling view that a user will see. So once a user is enabled for calling, the dial pad and their DDI will appear in the bottom left-hand corner here. I find that very useful because I also get my own DDI. And then it's a question of they can just type a number, make a call, or they can use their contacts and click on numbers, etc., to make calls. Just a little bit more detail around what you use and how you use Teams as your phone. So from a calling point of view, you can obviously see your speed dials that you saved or what's recommended for you, your contacts, which will be pulled through from Outlook as well. So you've got your complete Outlook set of contacts in here, your call history, whether that's a PSTN call or a standard Teams call or a video call, that will appear here too. And then you've got a view here for your voicemail, so you can go through, play them, view transcripts, etc. as well. Left-hand side, you've got the menu, so you can obviously flick between the various components of Teams still while you're in a call. Your phone number, as I mentioned, is displayed. You're obviously able to type a number to dial here, or you can click on the dial pad numbers if you wish as well, depending on user preference. In the main screen here, depending on what view you're on, you've got your contacts or your speed dials. And if you want to manage how your calls are handled in the options here, you are able to set things like forward to a specific DDI, or you can set up a group so that if you're unable to answer a call, it can ring specific users in your team or in the business, or just say forward straight to voicemail. So it gives the user full control of how their DDI is handled without having to log a ticket and go into an admin portal via IT, for example. I mentioned that there's quite a few features. I'm not going to read them all out because I think that'd be very, very boring for all of you. But just from a calling side, just wanted to highlight, so you've got things like call park, call forwarding, delegation, screening, supervised and blind transfers. You've also got do not disturb and breakthrough. So right now, my team's client is in do not disturb. So if anybody rings me, I'm not going to get notifications. However, if I wanted to, in my preferences, I'm able to set specific users that can break through. So if I'm working on something and do not disturb, but I say I want my manager to still reach me, I can flag them to be allowed through, and I can still get notifications both from an IM and a calling point of view. From an admin point of view, you have got the ability to create call queues, multi-level auto attendance and IVRs, on hold. You can do global and location-based routing. You can have on your call queues the ability to have out-of-hours service number updates and different rules, and also different settings for bank holidays, for example. There's also a significant number of reporting and logging and analytics going on in the back end, so you can start to understand how your platform is being used and also where you're having potentially call quality issues and how to identify and troubleshoot those as well.